Hey, Warpugs. So, today I'm going to be checking out something from Curious Archive. Now, the last time I saw something on Curious Archive, it was about something called the Biren. And, needless to say, this author created an entire universe, an entire species, from the ground up. Now, I know that doesn't sound like much, but when I say the man went in deep, he went in excessively deep. So deep, you could drown in it. And the same people that told the tale of that, the Biren, and I highly recommend you check it out, Birrin from Curious. Yeah, same people over at Curious Archive. They now bring the story of the dark future of humanity lost. This was requested by R. Nixon. Okay? Now, as far as I know, judging by the thumbnail, there are tentacles involved. Anything involving tentacles and humanity having a bad day is not a good thing, okay? But we're gonna jump into this. Let's sit back, observe, and guys, please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like and a comment down below. Let's jump into it. Let's go, Warpugs. We'll have to look at ourselves to see how intelligent life might develop into something we wouldn't want to meet. Definitely.
For as long as we've told stories about aliens, we've told stories about alien invasions. Tales of visitors from the beyond coming to lay waste to our planet. After all, one only has to look out into the darkness of the night sky to worry about what might lurk among the stars. But imagine the opposite scenario. Imagine if humanity's first interaction with alien life isn't them invading our planet, but us invading theirs. What if, in a twist of cosmic fate, the most dangerous life form in the universe is us? Humanity Lost, a world-building project and graphic novel series by artist Callum Diggle, imagines a future where humans have merged with a godlike artificial intelligence, and are now the most dangerous life forms in a galaxy full of aliens. It's an exciting twist on the genre, and a story that features some particularly inventive speculative life forms. So, for this entry into the archive, I'll break down the universe and timeline of Humanity Lost, explaining how humans reached this point, the aliens who stand against their expansion, and what might come after. At the start of the 26th century, humanity has yet to give itself over to the AI. Under the oversight of the United Earth government, humans populate every major celestial body in our solar system. On Earth's moon, giant lava tubes are terraformed and become home to great cities larger than any on Earth. Yet as humans seek out more and more distant planets, they soon encounter another sentient species, one which will set them on a path towards a dark future.
Okay.
In the mid-26th century, a distant human probe discovers planet Chiron, a dry world that has become hotter over the past several million years. On the surface, they find that in response to the growing desert, megaflora called Mammidae have arisen, acting as natural reservoirs holding on to the last of the planet's water. Within these vast plant structures, human explorers find a complex internal ecosystem that constantly recycles water, and in return provides nourishment to the Mammidae. Outside the lush interior of the Mammidae, the United Earth government discovers in the desert more life in the form of the Living Wave, a horde of scavengers chasing across a region called the Shifting Sea, eating everything they encounter.
Okay.
These inventive aliens are actually inspired by strand beasts, real structures made by artist Theo Jansen that are propelled by the wind in a way which resembles walking animals, despite actually being made out of wood. And just looking at videos of the strand beasts, you can see why they make such good alien designs.
Yeah, they do.
But the Living Wave isn't the only thing the UE discovers.
This looks like... So... This looks a lot like the other species that was featured in Curious Archives listing before. This looks very, very similar to the Biren. Not exactly the same, but close.
Even more significant is the revelation that a species of intelligent aliens also live here. The six-limbed Chantari are the first intelligent life humans make contact with. The Chantari are unhappy with the presence of the United Earth government, which begins to establish colonies and mine the planet for resources, which the less technologically advanced Chantari are helpless to.
It's staring at me. How long were you there?
A minute. Can you turn your camera?
No! Do you hear this? Just constant, non-stop with her.
I want to get in my spot.
Fine, hold on. I can't ever have any relaxation. I can't do it. She always does this. You take pride in it, don't you?
Yep.
That's what I thought. Joy and joyness. Let's go.
To prevent. To the Chantari, humans are the alien invaders. Humanity's treatment of the Chantari awakens a previously unknown alliance of alien systems known as the conglomerate.
Oh, joy.
Swiftly decimating the human presence on Chiron. In a stroke of dark cosmic justice, the conglomerate proves to be far more powerful than the United Earth government. Realizing they are hopelessly outmatched, the UE activates a dangerous, newly constructed AI in their desperation to win the war. And win the war it does. But humanity as we know it is lost, transformed into genetically altered avatars of the machine's will.
Yay.
Encased in biomechanical suits of armor, troopers like these are dropped on planets as the first wave of the invasion. Looking more like insects than humans today, these drones are little more than puppets of the great AI.
That's bad.
And after the troopers come the great Krakens, enormous living spacecrafts that descend on an alien planet and bombard it from above. But the
I thought those were the aliens. Just, oh, rise of the Imperium down here, guys. This is a problem.
Expanding force of what was once humanity isn't just destroying worlds. It's reshaping them to its will. Late into the 26th century, the Empire spreads across the galaxy like a relentless tide, transforming other planets into biomechanical factories known as womb worlds.
Oh, that's
not good. These worlds spew out more augmented troops and ships to continue the cyclical nature of the AI's malignant expansion. With this empire, now called the Imperium, moving across the galaxy, only the remaining aliens of the conglomerate stand in the way. So, what life forms make up the conglomerate? The founders of the Alliance are the Zeus. This spacefaring species originally hails from planet Solus, a low-gravity world with a dense atmosphere. Perfectly suited to moving around in such a strange environment, the Zeus rule the skies of their homeworld thanks to a biological jet propulsion system, a bit like an aerial version of an Earth Nautilus. Like all members of the conglomerate, the Zeus are an advanced species. The second species to join the Alliance are the Pect. Originating from an icy moon orbiting a gas giant, they have evolved in geothermally heated oceans trapped below the moon's icy outer shell. Within these dark waters, the Pec adapted bioluminescence that they use to communicate with each other, much like many deep-sea species on Earth. Thanks to specialized crafts that let them venture beyond the ice, this unlikely group has become a vital member of the Conglomerate Alliance. In terms of engineering, the primary manufacturers of conglomerate warships are the Bremhenians.
Okay, the Bremhenians look like uber space ticks, and that's not exactly a flattering comparison, and it wasn't meant to be so.
Evolving on a crushing high-gravity world called Wimrig, Bremhenians are as rigid and sturdy as their technology. Originally living in vast subterranean cities, Bremhenians are almost like a group of intelligent moles, and while the high gravity of their planet meant the Bremhenians were never able to reach space on their own, with the help of the conglomerate, they're now a major ally against the Imperium. On the opposite end of the biological spectrum, the Velocians are gelatin.
What in the absolute hell is that? That looks... Oh my god, that looks absolutely disgusting. It is no wonder that humanity wanted to purge the Xenos of this particular thing, because nothing in here is... no.
Soft tentacled species that paradoxically are some of the greatest warriors in the Alliance. With a culture of honor and tradition, the Velocians historically resolved almost any dispute through combat, in particular by way of the blade. With 3 brains, 2 of which are dedicated entirely to a single arm tentacle, Velocian motor skills are unparalleled. This kind of decentralized intelligence is similar to that of an octopus, a key line of the conglomerate defense. But the conglomerate haven't been able to keep every system safe. The thick-coated Ver-A are a group of interstellar refugees whose homeworld was destroyed and now live under the protection of the conglomerate. Originally,
this looks like the Magusta meme had a baby and peed on it. What is this?
adapted for the frigid swamps of their home planet, the Ver-A's pole-like toes allow them to keep themselves above the water level of the swamp, and to hang from swamp trees much like sloths do on Earth.
True.
Now these swamps are factories for Imperium forces, and their numbers are few. As the Imperium continues to spread, the conglomerate has had to make alliances with ancient enemies. The Gord are a bizarre species that have long been seen as impossible to ally with. Curiously, the Gord are technically not one species, but two. The central plant-like core of a Gord works as a hive for smaller insect-like drones, providing guidance through complicated pings of information that the drones are perfectly adapted to understand, serve, and reply. The flying drone,
sweet,
in turn, act as the eyes and hands of the central plant structure.
Okay, nothing about that looks sanitary, I'm just saying. Nothing about that looks sanitary. That looks... Oh, that looks so wrong.
Pinging visual information back to the structure and allowing the Gord to manipulate objects around them. A quite unusual setup, almost like a sentient beehive. Yet through this symbiosis, the Gord have developed their extremely advanced civilization, and now often wear environmental suits such as this one adapted for their unique anatomy. Indeed, the Gord are so unique that their language and culture is practically indecipherable to any other species of the galaxy, which unfortunately led to several wars between them and the conglomerate in the past.
Congratulations, you have waged war against a pitcher plant. My God. No,
Galaxy in jeopardy, the Gord join the Alliance and become a powerful ally in the fight against the Imperium. But not all sentient species have joined the conglomerate. The Tandrax are the single most technologically advanced species in the galaxy, so advanced they have little interest in the Imperium conglomerate conflict. They live solely within Dyson swarms, giant constellations of satellites that orbit a sun, absorbing all its energy. The Tandrax's strange bodies are perfectly suited to the zero-G environment of space, with air jets all over their body and large webbed tentacles they use as air brakes. Yet as advanced as they are, with the Imperium continuing to expand, they might at last need to change their isolationist ways. Yet in this galaxy of aliens and post-humans, forgotten aboard a derelict ship, there is one final life form worth mentioning. A single human, accidentally trapped in stasis for hundreds of years, has recently awakened to find themselves the last of their kind. Crash landing on planet Chiron, the world where this whole mess began, the last human finds an unlikely ally in a lone Chantari, the first alien species humanity encountered long ago, now on the run from...
Oh my goodness.
From the watchful AI, it's possible this lone human holds the key to saving the dream of humanity. That's all I can give away in this video. The story of Humanity Lost is ongoing, but if you find the world building as interesting as I do, you can support Callum Diggle on Patreon to gain access to the graphic novel for just $1.50.
We'll be in the description
I've included
below.
a link to it in the description. And as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this entry, please lend your support by liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification icon to stay up to date on all things curious. See you in the next video.
Alright, awesome sauce. Okay, so let me just push some things out. Hospilla was sitting back there taking a look at this. And alongside me, she was just sitting back in the back looking. So if you heard a voice, that was her. But this is what happens when Xenos don't die as they should, for being an affront to all things natural. This actually looks like a Birum. From the last thing I saw from Curious Archive. This actually looks very, very similar to a Birum, if I'm right about that. Now, it does look like a Birum that, you know, had too many energy drinks and drunk too much power thirst. Because, no. On top of that, In
That looks like a demigorgon from Stranger Things.
It really does. It really does. But this is what happens when it's always a concern of mine when you're looking at war and what will happen in the event of a war when you don't know what your opponent is capable of or what they have on the back burner. Essentially, the Xenos should have just died and, left us to our own devices. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But considering they didn't, first, these right here. First off, we have no way of knowing how life would evolve on another planet, flat out. And people could look at this and be like, okay, there's no way, but at the same time, if you want to see weirdness, go look at some deep sea creatures and then get back to me, okay? Some of those things look like abominations that crawled out of a portal from the abyss. So something like this might very well be plausible on a high gravity planet, high density planet. Oh my god, high density planets. Now, this looks like a virus. This looks like a virus in its final form. This completely and totally, I am not even sure what to say about this. The Pect are... They are the last thing I would want to meet anywhere. Not in a dark alley, not in the middle of a crowded room, nowhere. I would not want to see this anywhere. And then we have the Super Ticks. Now, the Super Ticks, they have tentacles and crab claws. And then whatever these things are, I'm not sure. I don't want to know, okay? But out of all of them, this thing, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's supposed to be. All I know is it needs a flamethrower. The heavy flamethrower, okay? A brain for each arm of tentacles and a brain in the skull. This thing is a walking problem. I'm not sure if this thing is the mouth or what it's supposed to be, but considering this is the warrior group of that little alliance, that is a massive issue. And then the Magus to me, given form, with little claw feet and little claw hands. I'm not even sure what to say about it. Now, at this point, we have to address the 20 pounds and open a 5-pound bag. That is the gourd.
I don't want to see what that looks like.
I'm pretty sure everybody's already figured out what you're thinking it looks like. No. I'm not going to comment on this at all. I'm going to leave this alone. Because that's the way... In that instance, I saved myself from everything. It makes me sad. Finally, we got this thing. Now, I honestly don't know what to say from this angle. If you turn your head like this, well, actually like this, considering the way I'm, towards the camera. This is Jigglypuff's cousin that went on the diet and started doing flag routines. I'm just saying. But this group is also supposed to be the most technologically advanced, and it would make sense if they're spaceborne. It would make a lot of sense if they're spaceborne. All of that being said, humanity fallen victim to the AI. This took a little bit of a different bent than I thought it was going to. Not an entirely unwelcome one, but a good one nonetheless. Guys, this was Curious Archive and the Dark Future of Humanity Lost. I hope you guys enjoyed it. All the links are going to be in the description below, including my own. I've just finished getting everything up. Memberships are up, Patreon, Discord, and the wish list for the house. Thank you guys for watching, I hope to see you again next time. Say goodbye, hun.
Bye, Vaughn.
Bye. Really?